What up, everyone? Sorry about yesterday, but we are live now.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be doing a tattoo highlight of the week. And I'm also going to talk about what happened yesterday and the tattoo I was working on because it was actually a touch-up. So I got some good pics of before and after and what he wanted to do. And we'll talk about that. We're going to go over some questions that was missed on the last show last week. And we're going to continue that. And we also have some questions that were new. And we got a current event, so we're going to hit it all. We'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome to TATtalk, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We are a live show. We are on Facebook, and we're also going to go live on Instagram today. So we're going to do something different. We're going to try it out. So if you see me talking to Instagram, maybe answering some questions. If you do have an Instagram, you can check us out. We have our Instagram page is TATtalk Live on Instagram. But today we're going to go on the IslandTAT Instagram. So we also have an IslandTAT Instagram. So check that out. Again, we are a live show, so it's all about tattoos, culture. We kind of focus on Polynesian culture only because that's what, we know. And we are, IslandTAT is a Polynesian-based tattoo shop. But we love culture in general. Indigenous cultures, native cultures. And, Robert here is Native American, so he's able to share some of his culture with that. But once again, my name is Josh. I'm the host. Robert here, co-host. And we are going to go, we normally go over some tattoo highlights of the week. So some tattoos that I work on during the week, we kind of explain it, explain some of the client story and then what they wanted to give you guys an idea if you have any questions or if you want to go get a tattoo and want to know what it's all about,
or even comments. If you just have a comment you want to say to Josh or to us, it's all is welcome.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback, which is great. And I do want to let you guys know this is kind of like a community for us to share not only our knowledge but your knowledge. So you guys talk to each other. It's been going on. I've been seeing everyone making comments with each other, answering questions, and that's what it's all about. We want to make this global because Polynesia is huge,
Well, make it like you were saying, like a community, how everybody could just talk to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, the whole reason why we started it is there's nothing like this that I've seen. I'm sure there is, but I don't know of any. And it's a big community. The Polynesian tattoo community is big. I know there's a lot of controversy and sensitive subjects in that, but hey, let's talk it out. That's what it's about. I mean, that's
forward.
What we're here for, know. And if we're quiet about it and we don't talk about it and keep it within our own cultures, then we don't share it, and the knowledge is never given and spread out. But yet, the information spread out by those that are not Polynesian or never grew up in that culture is false information. And that's what I see is out there more, because we like to hold on to our culture and keep it authentic and true. But by doing that, all the unauthentic stuff is being spread fast, really fast. And it's getting more exposure. People are writing books just for money, all this stuff. And some may argue that I'm saying wrong stuff, but hey, we're live. Talk it out. Make a comment. Let's talk it out, because I'm not hiding behind, anonymous.
Yeah,
being anonymous and making comments and stuff. This is me. You know where our shop is, and it's all about truth and integrity, honesty, and that's what we're here for. So let's.
We're live on Instagram, by the way.
And we're live on Instagram. So what's up, Instagram fam? Is it the IslandTAT one?
Yeah, it's IslandTAT.
So I'll let you guys know, we're live on Facebook. If you go to TATtalklive.com, we do a live show at 6:30. Today's Wednesday, but we normally do it Tuesday. TATtalk Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Today's a little different, but that's fine. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment. Let us know.
I'll read them.
And we're going to see what's up with all this going on right now.
So much going on.
Yeah, so we start off with the current event to let you guys know what's going on throughout Polynesia or the culture and what's new. So what's new, Robert?
So what's new is probably global new, which is the terrorist, shootings in New Zealand at I believe it's Christchurch. Yeah, and so to hear about a terrorist shooting in New Zealand is just rare. I mean, it's very unexpected, and actually we have a video of it. I don't know if we could pull that up real quick.
Sad. I don't even know what happened, honestly. I've been so busy. I'm out of the loop. So what happened? Can you tell me what?
So what I understand from it, I don't follow the news too much, but I know is that they shot the church, but the church was of Muslim group.
It was a Muslim church.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I like about New Zealand is they were quick to respond, saying we don't have barriers between each other. We're all people. We're all one. We're unity. I think even the I don't know what they call them down there, but the senator of New Zealand, they're paying for all the funerals of the victims, just to show that there is unity. There's no walls between us, and we love each other. So, and you see in the Haka, I mean, they're all different races. They're all students. They're all children, and it's kind of sucks because you kind of have to have bad times to pull people together. If anything, I've learned from going through bad times, it's either you break or you become stronger.
Right. It's I don't think you have to, but it always happens.
Yeah, it happens. Like you don't have to. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
You're right.
It's sad, but that's when you see people coming together. Kind of.
The true colors come out some places.
I want to say an example.
Go ahead.
I mean, like Trump. I mean, you see what happened with Trump, and I don't want to get political, but one thing that did happen is people,
no, but
they came together, they came together against each other.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, Prime Minister of New Zealand, Kalani. Thank you. You're my clutch. The Prime Minister of New Zealand. They paid for the funerals.
Oh, right. That's
which is great. It's beautiful. I mean, how many?
It's not just talking. It's
it's actions. Yeah. Right. So I think it was a total of 50 people that were victims, which is sad.
50?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And what happened was that I think what caught them off guard was that they were actually doing a training, and they had a training day for them for this kind of situation that happened on the same day. So it was like, oh, this is really happening.
It's weird because then they think it's a training and it's really going down.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, all right, guys. So what I want to do is go ahead and go over some of the questions. So those of you on Instagram.
I have their questions too for when you're done with those.
Okay, so I'm only going to go over a couple. We get a lot of questions, and if anyone on Facebook or Instagram have any questions regarding anything, but hopefully tattoo related, then you can just message us, comment, and then we'll get back to you. But we go ahead and write them down, and then we ask these questions and we give our feedback. But once again, we're not the all-knowing tattoo shop. I mean, we're just here to kind of moderate and
before
create a
you
community.
before you get into that again, can you just reintroduce yourself? We have a lot of people who are not knowing who you are and this.
Okay, so for Facebook, we are on Instagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Instagram to the
talk,
show.
yeah.
So those of you on Instagram, what's going on? My name is Josh. I'm here at IslandTAT Tattoo Shop, IslandTAT Evolve, and we specialize in Polynesian tattoos. But we have a podcast, and on this podcast, it's a video podcast, and we're on Facebook. We go live every week to create a community and talk story about tattoos, Polynesian tattoos, and culture. We're real big on culture. We love meaning, and we try and share that with everyone. We never saw that. Well, I haven't seen that, so we're trying to start that. We've been doing this podcast a year and a half now, maybe, and we've been dabbling in this networking and going live. So this is kind of new, as far as Instagram.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna just do it. We're getting a lot of good feedback because people like the information, and I like that everyone's able to share their own culture and answer questions that either the viewers have or maybe I have. I've traveled throughout Polynesia. I've been blessed. I haven't been to every island out there, but I've learned a lot traveling with the Ali'i Nui, and I've tattooed chiefs, Ali'i Nui, and learned a lot. Learned a lot from all the different cultures, the meanings. You can read something about a meaning and a symbol in a book or look it up on the internet. And what I've noticed being a tattoo artist is people come in with those meanings printed out, and it's almost like this is what it is. Kind of like the Bible, this is the law, this is what it is, and that's not true. So what I like to do is kind of just share what I know, and what I say is what I'm sharing with you is just what I know and how I learned it, and we can share that knowledge together and figure out what we're gonna do with your tattoo or your piece, because every tattoo has meaning in Polynesia, and we try and create a piece that's meaningful to you and every client.
So real quick, when you learned under other people, did you learn under any of the is it Suluwape?
Suluwape,
no.
So Suluwape is a title.
Okay.
It's really a last name. It's a chief family that carried the history, like the tradition of TATtalk in Samoa. 2,000 years back, and there was a family that carried that all the way through till today. And now the Suluwape family, they travel to conventions and well respected, knowledgeable, and carried that in Samoa all the way till today. So they have other Suluwapes. It's kind of like giving the chief name or that name to others that apprentice or live that lifestyle, and the elders teach them. Suluwape Patelo and whoever's a Suluwape can give that name. I don't want to speak a lot on it. This is just what I know. Yeah. But me personally, and that's hand tap. That's the old style of TATtalk. I never did an apprenticeship. So all the tattoo knowledge that I know, I had to just grind, hustle, and just do it myself. I mean, I started back in 99 where there was no Google, YouTube.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot you can learn now.
On the internet. There wasn't even books that I could find. I mean, and every shop I went into, they turned me away. The first tattoo shop I did work at was here in San Diego. And I was actually working with Suluwape Angela. She wasn't Suluwape at the time, but she was there as the front desk person, and greeted me, and I talked, and I was kind of the
newbie.
Yeah.
You're the newbie.
I was just
You're not the rookie. You were just a newbie.
I want to say the bitch boy.
Okay, you can say that too. I mean, newbie kind of has that too.
I had to clean all the tubes. I had to make their needles, everyone's needles. I really wasn't. I wasn't apprenticing, so they weren't teaching me stuff. They taught me how to make needles, so I could make their needles. I cleaned up, and I just watched. I learned a lot there. Yeah, I did. Because I watched and I paid attention. It was an old school style of tattooing. Yeah. And I learned what I didn't like. I learned what I liked, and
that's what you take from it.
I just hung in there. But anyways, I really focused on the Polynesian style. I grew up in Hawaii. That's my culture, but I'm not Hawaiian by blood. I'm Hawaiian by heart. I mean, because that's the culture that I know.
Yeah.
But I'm Chamorro from Guam.
Yeah.
That's my blood. So I do have native roots, and that's my passion. That's what brought us here.
In a
to
nutshell.
talk.
Boom. And
Right.
this all happened.
So-
we time traveled.
So check us out. We're gonna try to go live once a week on IslandTAT, and
But we're going to try to
and
convert to
eventually,
talk.
transition over to talk live on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Because on Instagram we also have a TATtalk live page, but it's new, so we're trying to let everyone know. What
We're
doing.
more on Facebook.
Right.
The Book of Face.
All right, so let's get back to the questions. Like I said, every week people have comments and questions, and we can only get through as much as we can. This is like a 30-minute show. Sometimes it goes to 45 minutes, but
30.
we're trying to hit 30.
30.
Make it quick and to the point. So, right here we have a comment from Myra. Now, on Facebook, we did a show, episode 74 is on cultural appropriation, because we have a lot of questions about Polynesian tattoos and cultural appropriation, but we switched it up a little bit because I was doing some Aztec tattoos. So I had to study Aztec and Mayan culture a little bit, and then try and transition over to do this piece for this client. Because of that, I brought it up. Like, is it cultural appropriation for me to do Aztec and Mayan tattoos? It was a great show. We had a lot of comments, and this is a comment from Myra. And she says, cultural appropriation, I don't believe cultural appropriation is anything more than PC propaganda meant to stir up anger and division. Protect your design work with copyrights, or just expect it will spread. Those who respect the culture will respect the traditions, and those who don't, you can't do much about it. Just be flattered and trust karma. I think a lot of people are very protective about their culture.
Did you say PC or POC?
It says PC, so is that politically correct?
Oh, okay.
Propaganda. And there's a lot of propaganda, and there's a lot of division, and it's sad. I know that a lot of the anger and I guess
I think it's
conflict,
more trauma from the past.
right? It's brought forward, and it creates division. I definitely am, the first one to say respect culture, respect it with the utmost. But I travel when I was traveling throughout Polynesia. I've had the opportunity to ask the elders, which I did all the time in Rapa Nui, in Tahiti, in Aotearoa. Anyone that I went to, I asked them, what do you feel about non-Polynesians getting Polynesian tattoos? And the elders all would say the same thing about it's a blessing to be able to share culture with others that aren't in our culture or of our blood, to keep it alive and to share it. So it is all about respect, and she's right when she says there's not much you can do about those who don't respect it. I've had people that came in that wanted, one person in 20 years that wanted a tattoo that had nothing to do with, he just liked the look of it. And I try to break it down and say there's meaning, and we can create your story, and let's talk it out. And he just was like, no, I really don't care. I don't care about the culture. I mean, I respect it, but I don't want to know about it. I don't want to learn about it. I kind of just like the look of it. And I just had to turn him away. I mean,
that's hard. Like, I don't know how for someone to say that, it'd be really hard to hear. It'd be tough to keep my cool as
right. And for me, it was different because most people, when I explain that, they're very open, and they're like, no, I respect it. And can you teach me? I want to know more. I couldn't find it anywhere. I want to respect the culture, and I don't want anyone to think I don't. But that response really, it shocked me, because I didn't know what to do. But I knew that I can't do this then. I mean, I can't, because I feel that it's my purpose in life to do what I do now. And I've been guided and spoken to create meanings and change lives through tattoos
Mhm.
and carry on the culture in that way. And if I don't do it correctly, it's going to come back on me, and I'm
Yeah.
just not doing it right. And
Yeah.
I'm not doing him a service, because he's going to go out there not knowing anything.
Mhm.
He's going to get attacked and, you know, questioned. And I mean, it's just not cool. But there are shops that do it. And I just,
Yeah, there are a lot of shops that do that. Yeah,
what do you call that word?
just pass them on.
Yeah, pass them on.
Just pass
It's
them
not-
on. Pass.
There's a word for it, but
Yeah.
but anyways, yeah, I just referred him to
Just want to see. I just
referred him to another
want to
shop.
say what's up to James real quick. George, Kalani, Noel. Saying hi, you guys.
What up,
Bobby.
everyone?
But yeah, I mean, Noel said he'd be pissed off. I mean, it'd be hard to hear. That's just anybody, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I think in the past I've done it. I'm not gonna say I never did it.
Mm.
You know, I've done that in the past when I first started tattooing things that I didn't know, because that's where I was in life. That's where I
Yeah.
was, and at the time I thought I was doing what's right.
Mhm.
It's when you get the knowledge and you learn, you have to change, or you're part of the problem. So I'm not gonna be here and like put down, you know, the shop wherever that
Yeah.
is just doing it, because I'm sure in their, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping in their mind and heart, they're at that part in their
Yeah.
life where they're doing their best, and
Yeah.
they feel that what they're doing is right. But that's not for me to judge,
Mhm.
and I just have to move on. You know, it's all about solutions and being positive and making change, not
Mhm.
about fighting and trying to change other people. It's how can you?
Yeah,
you know,
you're never
like,
gonna change. That just gives them more
right.
to just keep doing what they're doing.
Right. What was some questions that some people had from yesterday?
From Instagram, we have about a few questions. One was, so do you like doing cover-ups? That answers everything right there, everybody.
Good question, because most times it's, can you do cover-ups, and it's an easy
Oh.
yes, I could do cover-ups.
Of course I can.
But you
yeah.
said,
do
you
you
like
like
it?
to? Yeah, see, that's a good. I
No.
like the word no.
no, I don't like it, and I don't know many artists that do like it, because
Mhm.
you're taking. You have to work with it, you know, and
Mhm.
not only do you have to work with whatever you're covering up,
Yeah,
but you have to make it look good too, and not
it's a lot of
like
effort.
a cover-up. I
Mhm.
see a lot of Polynesian tattoo cover-ups that are just like literally covered.
Yeah, just black or
I
just
mean,
something drowning.
They have a picture, and then they just go over it. And me and Suni, another tattoo artist here, talked about it, and we discussed that he just did a cover-up like that.
Oh yeah.
And what
Yeah.
worked was he used bold lines, and he was very strategic about it. He wasn't just like
Black.
going over
Yeah.
it with anything, and
Yeah.
hey, whatever happens. I see some pieces like that. I don't think that's, you know, attractive, and it's not appealing at all. But you know,
I think
don't
we
know.
have another one that's really good. I want to hear your answer for this one. Is have you ever considered working with a different style of illustration, and if so, what kind?
illustration.
Like, so tattooing, like, I don't know, portraits or old style,
Oh,
or
man.
well, if someone came in and was like, "Can you do this?" What would you like to hear?
I love realism.
Realism.
That's my passion. I mean, I grew up drawing realism.
Mm.
I didn't grow up drawing tribal. You know,
Uh-huh.
I just grew up in Hawaii, so the tribal, the
Came with it.
culture was part of me.
Yeah.
But I loved realism and shading, and you know, the 3D look,
Yeah.
which is why I fused the two. You know, when I started learning tribal and studying
That makes sense.
traditional Polynesian tattoos there's no shading in it. And when I was designing it, I would lay out all the artists, which there weren't a lot at the time when I started. There was only like 3 or 4 that I knew of, and I laid it all out, and honestly, it kind of looked all the same. So I wanted to know what I could do to kind of stand out, and yeah, I just started shading, which at that moment I kind of got flack for it, because all the artists were saying, "What is he doing? He
Yeah, what
shouldn't
is
be
that?
Shading.
Yeah.
That's not traditional. You're not allowed to do that."
Yeah.
And then I had to doubt myself and go, "Am I doing what's right?" And I prayed a lot. I pray, you know, my whole tattooing career was a lot of prayer, trying to find my path, and I definitely have. But I feel that if our ancestors had the tools that we had today,
Yeah.
they would be doing what we're doing today. That's just how I feel.
We do have one question from Instagram Live from John11. He wanted
What's
to know,
going on?
he for his first tattoo, I mean, he wants to get a sleeve done, but should he go for it all or should he go half sleeve, thin sleeve?
There's a lot of things to
It's a good question.
consider
Yeah.
when you want the end result to be a full sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to think of your budget, because if you can't put down the thousands of dollars to get the full sleeve
Yeah.
in a month, or people come in 2 days and get a full sleeve done.
Yeah.
I've done it, but it's 20 hours. You know, I mean, it's crazy. So,
Dang.
but I've done multiple ones like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you got to think about budget. And then if you're okay with getting it in sessions, you have to think about the flow. Some people want the half sleeve because of their work, and they know that if they get a full sleeve, they have to wear full sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, since my budget, is kind of tight and it's going to take 2 years anyway, I want to start wearing full sleeves next year. So yeah, let's start with the half sleeve and then we'll work it down. The major thing that you got to always take into consideration when you discuss this with your artist, when you're getting a full sleeve, is to the connection point. So wherever you stop in the half sleeve, it has to be able to connect in the full sleeve. And you got to make sure the artist understands that, because if an artist is used to just, yeah, we could do it. Yeah, I do poly. Yeah, I can get a picture and copy it, whatever. It's tricky. I mean, you gotta know what you're doing in order to make that happen. And I would, want to feel confident in that if I went to an artist and was explaining that, because you can flow a lot better if you get like it all lined out first.
Mm-hmm.
You can connect it all. It can all be connected.
Yeah, like you did with mine, like the half to full. But I waited years.
Well, yours, you went half sleeve and then you connected
it.
But so in the midpoint, I purposely did some designs that would connect easily. Yeah. So and some pieces where they just get it consecutively, 2 days, the whole sleeve, you could tell because it flows throughout the whole arm. There's no stopping point. Yeah. There's no lines that, where they stopped, or it just flows straight through.
A lot of people tell me they don't see the difference. But he said thank you too. He said thank you for answering.
Thanks for the question. Appreciate that.
But yeah, I think my opinion on that is, I always tell younger ones that you want to get a full sleeve when you're young. I want the full sleeve. I see people with full sleeves, but you have your whole life. I mean, if you're getting tattoos for story, don't fill up your whole body right away, because then you're going to be like, well, I have more to show. Where am I going to put it?
That's true. And also people are coming in that are covering up. Like, I have a client that's getting laser removal on his whole back. He has a whole back piece, and he's removing the whole back piece to get me to cover the whole back piece.
That's crazy.
That's just one client. But yeah, definitely think about it. Think ahead, because tattoos are powerful as far as spiritually and physically. You see it every day. People are going to approach you differently. And since it's a piece of artwork that's on you, not just a tattoo, I watch clients, walking around. I go out, and I just see people staring at it and appreciating it. You're going to get that for the rest of your life. And your life changes in different ways. You wake up in the morning, you see the tattoo, you can use it for positive, a reminder, whatever you want. So those are things to always remember. Any other questions?
Oh, we have some on Instagram, which I think one was good is, do different colors require different pressure? Like, if you were to do a blue compared to a white, are you pushing white more in than?
Okay, so I'm not an expert at color. I do color. I've done a lot of color, but I'm not an expert at color. I would love to learn more about color, but I'll tell you what I know. And so it's just what I know.
There we go.
Right?
Josh 101.
When I'm sure there is. I'm sure those masters of color that you see, those crazy, like 3D realistic color.
But what does Josh do? What does Josh do
with
color?
For me, every ink that I do, I just take it as it is.
Okay.
I mean, when you tattoo, certain people's skin is different. You have to change the angle of the needle. You have to put different pressure. Some people's skin, it won't take the ink well.
Oh, okay.
And some people turn their machine up and go deeper and harder, and you don't do that. That's what scars people. So if you see a lot of scars on tattoos, that's exactly what happened. And I could show you that in this tattoo that I have to cover right now. But when you're tattooing, you do have to just be aware of what you're doing and certain colors, because sometimes yellow can get into a skin really good, like really good and easy. But, something like red, which normally should go in easily, is tough to get in there. So for me, it's all different.
All different.
All different. So let's go over. I'm going to show you guys and discuss a tattoo that I was working on yesterday, because I think it was a good topic. I think it's a good idea to show. So right here is a client that came in. He had a half sleeve, and you can't see it, but I in the past did a forearm piece, and I basically flowed with what he had. But because the forearm piece was brand new and then his half sleeve was really old, like, he wanted me to touch it up. And what you see right here is the old piece. And here's some other pieces or views of his tattoo. And as you can see, it's older. He got it like years ago. So the fading of it really made a difference compared to the new tattoo. So what I said is I could go over it. So I basically went over the whole tattoo to darken it up. Now here is the new tattoo. Is this? Okay, so this is me going over it. So you saw how it was kind of green and really faded. There is a difference. It's not a huge difference, but there is a difference. You could definitely tell that it's a darker, bolder lines. And I wanted to show you guys just to show you that it's possible. You can do that. The problem with this tattoo in particular is that he was scarred pretty bad. Like, the old tattoo was just thick, and it was even hard to get the ink into redoing this tattoo because of the scarring. But we did it, and it was a little difficult, but we got it. So here's all different views, and I just want to let you guys see it to give you guys an idea of what's possible.
So when you talk about scarring, is there like a so I know my back tattoo that I wanted to get removed, it's probably scarred, and with this, there's a lift that comes from the scar.
Right.
So is there a certain thing you do with the lifting of the scar, or you just have to deal with it? It's scarred.
There's nothing you could do with that. I mean, it is what it is, but it's something that you should, if you're a tattoo artist, you should be aware of.
Yeah.
When you're designing, because you don't want it to stand out. So maybe go with the shape with whatever you're designing so that it kind of blends in, because that scarring and that lifting of the tissue will pop out of black and everything else and will be obvious if you don't design it in a way to kind of cover that lifting up, you know? So it's more of an illusion thing and kind of going with it. But honestly, that's the best that I see that I know that you could do. Okay, so lastly, guys, here is a tattoo highlight of the week. It's just in progress. I don't really post a lot of in progress pictures on Instagram or Facebook, but I go ahead and discuss it here on the show live so that you guys can ask questions and then see the progress of the week of the shop. So this was the Aztec piece that I was working on. A lot of the symbols is from Oaxaca. Yeah. Where his family's from. Yeah. So I went and, had to study and figure out a lot of symbols. A lot of the symbols are stamps that was used, or architecture, because they had different gods and they would do different things. So a lot of the symbols, it's really hard because I don't see this style. I see a lot of Aztec work, but it's more shaded and realism and, the warrior and, the feathers, eagles, but I don't see a lot of tribal Aztecs. So this is an exciting project for me. I love working on this because it's not as easy as putting the same concept of Polynesian to Aztec. I've noticed that as I've been working more with the Aztec stuff. It's different. Although there's some similarities and the cultures are very similar, there's also some differences, and it's tough. So, but I like how this is coming out.
Yeah, it's nice. Not line work.
And tons of detail. Oh my goodness, tons of detail. It's like more than the poly work. But yeah, like I said, it's not done yet. We should only have one more session. So when he comes back, probably a couple weeks,
Yeah.
I'll show you guys the finished piece. And that would be the Aztec piece. Give you guys a glimpse of it.
So did you learn anything from doing this piece, from like the culture or?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot because I'm still studying. I'm still reading up on it, learning about the gods that they had and their culture. It's very similar, but it's different.
Yeah.
Like Mexico is very large, South America.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with that, so I have to learn that too. And as I read it, I have to it's different, and it's harder for me. When I study Polynesian stuff, it's a lot easier because I grew up in it.
Yeah, you can relate to it.
I can relate to it and everything. I relate a lot to the native culture in Mexico, but I don't know the customs. I don't know the traditions, and it is a slower process, which is why we did the culture appropriation segment. But yeah, I'm learning a lot, and I love it. And I'm going to continue to work on it and get better at it. And because I do have a lot of clients now that are requesting it. Got a lot. I think I got like 5 on the books.
It's hard to find it. It's hard to find someone to take the time out to learn. Anybody, it's good though.
Right.
It's our community.
All right. So before we end, I'm going to end with this last comment from Terangi Marie Harris, and he made a comment on episode 67, whichever episode that is, because I'm not sure. But he goes, "What do you guys even know about TATtalk? Are you even Polynesian? Bay? ? Stop taking our Tonga, you." So he's talking to me.
Yeah. What's his name?
And he's saying, Terangi Marie.
I'll say hi. Thank you. Shout out to we want to put you on the screen right now. Boom.
I'm guessing that
there he is.
He or she. I don't. I'm guessing he might be the angry faces that comes on. But hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Everyone has a voice.
There are supporters. They're just our confused supporters.
What?
That's all it is.
He or she. I respect you because you're saying your piece. This is how you feel. I respect that because I would, but you know what? No judgment here. You don't know. You don't know where everyone comes from. You don't know how they grew up. And like I said, I respect your culture. I respect all cultures. And you have a right to feel however you feel. We're just trying to be a community here for everyone to come and talk. So please, if we're saying anything wrong, just share it. Go ahead and make comments and kind of correct us because that's what it's about. If anyone's saying misinformation or wrong things, correct it so that we can all spread the right information. That's what it's about. And if you don't like it, you can just not watch.
You can watch. You could be a supporter. Hey, more viewers.
Or you can watch it and be a part of this.
Yeah.
Because it's all about love, man. It's all about aloha, the aloha spirit, and sharing, giving, and moving forward. Because that's what we're doing. No matter what, we're moving forward. So thank you guys for joining us. Sorry it's a Wednesday, but we'll see you guys next week, Tuesday at 6:30. We'll see you guys. Instagram. We're going to figure all this out. But thanks. Shoots. Mahalo.